For thousands, sometimes millions of years, nature's coldest places have served as time capsules, preserving astonishing relics of Earth's past in ice and permafrost. As the planet warms and ancient glaciers melt, these icy tombs are beginning to thaw, revealing a frozen world lost to time. They tell stories of extinction, survival, and evolution in some of the planet's harshest environments. And with every melting glacier or shifting layer of permafrost, more secrets rise to the surface, rewriting what we thought we knew about ancient life on Earth. Baby mammoths. In 2007 and 2008, scientists uncovered two baby mammoths in Siberia, later named Lyuba and Chroma. These young mammoths, one around a month old and the other about 2 months, were so well preserved that researchers could determine how they died, despite the fact that their deaths occurred over 40,000 years ago. CT scans revealed that both mammoths likely drowned after inhaling thick, muddy water. As Daniel Fisher, a co-author of the study, explained, the mud was like a dense batter that clogged their airways, preventing them from taking another breath. Lyuba, the younger calf, was discovered by a reindeer herder, while Chroma was found a year later, frozen upright in permafrost. Although scavengers had eaten parts of her heart, lungs, and skull, both calves still bore a neonatal line on their teeth, a sign of birth stress, allowing scientists to estimate their ages. Further scans showed Lyuba had signs of the mammalian dive reflex, suggesting she fell through ice into a muddy lake and suffocated while trying to clear her airways. Chroma's story is a bit murkier. She had a belly full of breast milk and mud in her trachea, but researchers believe she may have fallen into a river, broken her back, and been buried in mud while struggling to escape. These frozen remains offer a hauntingly detailed glimpse into the lives and deaths of creatures from the distant past. Baby woolly rhinos and a frozen lion cub. In 2015, scientists in Siberia made a remarkable discovery: a baby woolly rhino perfectly preserved in a frozen riverbank. Nicknamed Sasha after the man who found it, this calf is the most complete woolly rhino specimen ever unearthed. Sasha lived around 10,000 years ago and measured about 1.5 meters, nearly 5 feet, in length and 0.8 meters, roughly 2.6 feet, in height, much smaller than adult woolly rhinos, which could grow up to 15 feet long. According to Albert Protopopov from the Yakutian Academy of Sciences, finding a baby woolly rhino is incredibly rare. This discovery was especially significant because it provided researchers with new insights into the early life stages of a species they previously knew little about. Woolly rhinos went extinct around 10,000 years ago, likely due to a combination of climate change and habitat loss. However, some scientists believe overhunting by humans may have also played a role in their disappearance. Even older than Sasha is another stunning find, a lion cub named Sparta, who lived around 30,000 years ago. Ice Age survivors preserved in perfect detail. In 2017, emerging from the melting permafrost of Yakutia, Siberia, researchers made a jaw-dropping discovery: Sparta, a baby cave lion so perfectly preserved that even her whiskers remained intact. "She's probably the best preserved Ice Age animal ever found," said Love Delane, one of the study's co-authors. Sparta died about 28,000 years ago and was found alongside another cub, Boris, who lived even earlier, around 43,000 years ago. Both cubs were only 1 to 2 months old at the time of death, with their sharp little teeth just beginning to emerge. Cave lions were close relatives of today's African lions, but they were adapted for the freezing temperatures of the Ice Age and roamed across the northern hemisphere. Believe it or not, camels originally evolved in North America over 40 million years ago. Eventually, they split into 2 main branches. One gave rise to modern camels, which crossed the Bering Land Bridge into Asia and Africa, while the other became the ancestors of llamas and alpacas, who headed south. One species, Camelops hesternus, stuck around in North America until the Ice Age. These camels traveled as far south as Honduras and as far north as Alaska and the Yukon. In 2008, gold miners in Alaska uncovered the frozen bones of this now extinct species, preserved so well that scientists were able to extract DNA from them. And then there was the giant beaver, a rodent the size of a black bear. Imagine a 6-foot-long beaver weighing about 220 pounds with 6-inch-long front teeth. Despite their fearsome appearance, these Ice Age giants weren't predators. They were herbivores. Their broad, muskrat-like tails and plant-based diet set them apart from today's smaller, dam-building relatives. A 2019 study analyzing fossils from the Yukon and Ohio, dating between 10,000 to 50,000 years ago, showed that they mostly ate aquatic vegetation. Researcher Tessa Plint from Heriot-Watt University explained that scientists can learn about ancient diets by examining the chemical composition of fossilized bones and teeth. This helps them understand how environmental changes, like a warming climate, contributed to the extinction of animals like the giant beaver, which couldn't adapt as well as smaller species. Finally, in 2010, Russian scientists unearthed one of the best-preserved mammoths ever found, Yuka, a young mammoth around 6 to 8 years old who lived approximately 39,000 years ago. Yuka's body was in astonishing condition, about 2.5 meters long, with her bones, trunk, patches of flesh, hair, and even her eyes preserved. Scientists believe she may have drowned or fallen into a mud pit, which helped keep her body intact for millennia. Interestingly, cut marks on her bones suggest that humans may have butchered her for meat after her death. From cave lion cubs to Ice Age camels, giant beavers to mammoths, these ancient creatures frozen in time offer an extraordinary window into a world long gone and the powerful forces of nature and climate that shaped their fates. Ice Age titans and Antarctic giants. In 2002, an extraordinary discovery was made in northern Siberia near the remote village of Yukagir, the frozen remains of an adult woolly mammoth, astonishingly well preserved in the permafrost. When news of the find reached polar explorer Bernard Bouygues, he organized a team to recover the specimen. Over the course of 3 expeditions, the team carefully extracted and reassembled the mammoth's remains. The preservation was so exceptional that the mammoth's head, still covered in skin, appeared almost fresh. The discovery provided scientists with an incredible opportunity to study woolly mammoth anatomy in detail. Among the notable finds were the mammoth's tusks, front legs, parts of its stomach and intestines, and especially its feet, the soles of which had deep cracks, likely helping the animal grip icy terrain. Another significant detail was the presence of temporal glands located between its eyes and ears, believed to have played a role in regulating body temperature. Based on the size of its bones and tusks, scientists estimated this mammoth stood over 9 feet tall at the shoulder and weighed between 4 to 5 tons. Meanwhile, another remarkable discovery had taken place a decade earlier in the early 1990s. Paleontologist William Hammer of Augustana College was leading an expedition on Mount Kirkpatrick in Antarctica when his team uncovered fossilized bones of a long-necked dinosaur that lived approximately 190 million years ago. These fossils included parts of a foot, leg, and ankle. The excavation was grueling. Fossils had to be painstakingly removed from the frozen rock using jackhammers, chisels, and rock saws under extreme weather conditions. It wasn't until years later that graduate student Nathan Smith and paleontologist Diego Pol confirmed what they had found: a previously unknown species of dinosaur, which they named Glacialisaurus hammeri in honor of Hammer's discovery. Glacialisaurus was a member of the sauropodomorphs, a group that includes the largest land animals to ever walk the Earth. It measured around 20 to 25 feet in length and weighed between 4 to 6 tons. These long-necked plant eaters were the forerunners of the massive sauropods that would later dominate the Jurassic landscape. Together, the woolly mammoth of Siberia and the ancient dinosaur of Antarctica serve as frozen echoes of Earth's distant past, offering rare and invaluable insights into 2 vastly different, yet equally majestic prehistoric worlds. Young woolly rhinoceros. Around 20,000 years ago, during the peak of the last ice age, northern Siberia was a world locked in frost. Vast tundras stretched as far as the eye could see, dotted with hardy grasses, mosses, and shrubs. This frozen wilderness was home to some of the most iconic megafauna to ever walk the Earth: mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant deer, and among them, the woolly rhinoceros. One young woolly rhino, just a few years old, roamed this icy land, covered in a thick, shaggy coat to fend off the brutal cold, equipped with a massive horn to dig through snow in search of vegetation. It was probably foraging for food near a riverbank when it made a tragic misstep. Maybe the icy ground beneath it gave way, or perhaps it was caught in a sudden flood. Whatever the cause, the young rhino slipped into the frigid waters and never made it out. Its body quickly froze, becoming entombed in permafrost, a layer of earth that stays frozen solid for thousands of years. And there it stayed, untouched, undisturbed, for 2 whole millennia. Fast forward to 2020 in the remote region of Yakutia in Siberia. A local farmer, going about his usual work in the thawing landscape, stumbled upon something extraordinary: the partially exposed remains of a creature that hadn't walked the earth in 15,000 years. The woolly rhinoceros had re-emerged from the ice, perfectly preserved by nature's freezer. This was no skeleton. The rhino's fur, still matted and clumped from millennia of compression, clung to its body. Its hooves, teeth, and even internal organs were intact. But what truly shocked scientists was the presence of the horn. Typically made of keratin, a material similar to human fingernails, the horn decomposes rapidly after death and is almost never found with fossilized remains. Yet here it was, remarkably well preserved. To paleontologists, this was a goldmine. The rhino provided not only a rare look at Ice Age anatomy, but also opened the door to studying ancient genetics, diseases, diets, and possibly even microbiomes. Researchers were able to examine stomach contents, revealing what the animal ate in its final hours, offering a snapshot of life in a world lost to time. And the reason this rhino and many others like it are suddenly being found. The permafrost is melting. As climate change warms the Arctic, it's not just reshaping landscapes, it's unearthing the past. Dozens of Ice Age creatures have been rediscovered in recent years, but few as intact or as hauntingly lifelike as this young woolly rhinoceros. This remarkable specimen is now being studied by Russian scientists, and some even speculate that such discoveries could eventually lead to attempts at de-extinction, bringing back species like the woolly rhino or mammoth using recovered DNA and modern cloning techniques. But for now, the young woolly rhino serves as both a scientific treasure and a sobering reminder. As the ice melts, the ancient world is waking up, and it's telling us its stories, one frozen whisper at a time. The oldest DNA ever found. Deep beneath the frozen earth of northern Greenland, scientists made a discovery so astonishing it literally redefined the limits of what we thought was possible. In 2022, a team of Danish researchers uncovered something that had lain hidden for 2 million years. The oldest DNA ever found on Earth. Not bones, not fossils, but actual genetic material, still readable after all that time. To put that into perspective, that's 1 million years older than the previous record holder. This wasn't just a scientific footnote. It was a leap back into a world that predates mammoths, Neanderthals, even the formation of the modern human species. But here's the twist. They didn't extract it from a skeleton or tooth. Instead, they pulled it from ancient soil, frozen sediment that had acted like nature's filing cabinet, locking away genetic traces of everything that once called that land home. And what they found was like peering into a lost world. The DNA revealed a rich and vibrant ecosystem: Arctic hares, reindeer, birch trees, even mastodon-like animals that were never thought to have lived that far north. It was a biological snapshot of a Greenland that was once lush and green, not the frozen wasteland we see today. So how did this DNA survive for 2 million years? It turns out the unique combination of permafrost and mineral particles in the soil helped preserve the fragile strands. The minerals acted almost like Velcro, binding to the DNA and shielding it from the ravages of time, microbes, and oxygen. Even traces of ancient dung helped scientists understand which animals passed through and what they were eating, offering a level of detail once thought impossible without physical fossils. This discovery has opened up entirely new possibilities in the field of paleogenetics. It suggests we may be able to read the stories of lost ecosystems not just from bones, but from the very dirt beneath our feet. And as the ice continues to thaw, who knows what other genetic messages from the past are waiting to be read? One thing is certain: every shovel of melting permafrost might just be a page from Earth's oldest storybook. The mysterious Kaon Sea Monster. On April 28, 1974, a Japanese fishing trawler, Zuyo Maru, was navigating the chilly waters off the coast of Littleton, New Zealand, when the crew encountered something they would never forget. The ocean around them churned violently. And then, they saw it. A massive, unidentifiable creature surfaced. Towering just above the waterline, its head alone was estimated to be over 1.5 meters tall, roughly the height of a full-grown human. Its skin was said to be rough and possibly spiked, unlike anything they had seen before. Most chilling of all were its enormous, haunting eyes that seemed to follow the vessel as it passed. Captain Akira Kimura, a seasoned sailor, immediately sensed this was no ordinary marine animal. Later, he even sketched the creature from memory, a chilling image that would send waves through the scientific and cryptozoological communities. The crew dubbed the beast the Kaon, a name that roughly translates to sea spirit or sea soul in Japanese. Speculation ran wild. Some linked the Kaon to traditional Japanese sea cryptids like the umibozu, a ghostly ocean spirit said to capsize ships during storms. Others went further, suggesting it could be a modern-day sighting of something prehistoric, perhaps a plesiosaur, or even a relative of the mythical Antarctic Godzilla, a cryptid believed to inhabit the Southern Ocean. Newspapers in Japan and New Zealand ran with the story. Scientists debated whether the crew had seen a known species, perhaps a bloated shark carcass or a giant squid, or if they had glimpsed something truly undocumented by science. To this day, no confirmed photos or samples of the creature have been found. The only evidence remains the eyewitness accounts, Kimura's eerie sketch, and the chilling consistency of the crew's story. Whether it was a misidentified marine animal, an elaborate hoax, or a genuine encounter with an unknown deep-sea species, the Kaon remains one of the most enigmatic sea monster sightings in modern maritime history. Some say the ocean still holds secrets older than humanity itself, and the Kaon may be one of them. The Colossal Squid, deep-sea titan. Lurking in the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean is one of nature's most mysterious leviathans, the Colossal Squid. Unlike its more famous cousin, the giant squid, the Colossal Squid isn't just longer, it's heavier, bulkier, and more terrifyingly built. Reaching lengths of up to 46 feet, it's armed with swiveling hooks, some three-pronged, capable of locking onto prey with unrelenting grip. Its beak, the largest of any squid species, is strong enough to crush bones, and its eyes, the biggest in the animal kingdom, measuring a jaw-dropping 11 inches across. Although first scientifically confirmed in 1925, fishermen and sailors have reported sightings for centuries. These elusive beasts haunt the cold, dark waters near Antarctica, and with the deep sea still largely unexplored, who's to say even larger ones aren't still out there? The Aon Bear. In 2020, a group of reindeer herders in Siberia made an incredible discovery: the pristine remains of a young female brown bear, frozen in permafrost for over 3,000 years. Nicknamed the Aon Bear, this creature was so well preserved, scientists could examine its skin, fur, internal organs, even stomach contents. The bear had recently eaten plants and birds. Tiny feathers were still in its belly. It also showed signs of spinal trauma, likely the cause of death. Originally mistaken for an extinct cave bear, the Aon Bear turned out to be a relatively modern brown bear, but one that offered a remarkably detailed snapshot of life in the early Bronze Age. Jur, the Ice Age wolf pup. In 2016, a gold miner in the Yukon Territory of Canada stumbled upon one of the most remarkable Ice Age discoveries ever made: the mummified body of a 57,000-year-old wolf pup. Named Jur, this young pup was only about 7 weeks old when she died, yet her body was almost perfectly preserved in the permafrost. Her fur, tiny teeth, internal organs, and even her delicate pink nose were intact, making her the most complete Ice Age wolf specimen ever found. Jur offers a rare and intimate glimpse into prehistoric life, allowing scientists to study her anatomy, diet, and even genetic lineage. DNA analysis showed she belonged to a population of ancient wolves that lived in both Siberia and North America, lending strong support to the theory of animal migration across the Bering Land Bridge. Zhe isn't just a fossil, she's a time capsule from a frozen world that once thrived and roamed freely. The Scimitar Cat. Often overshadowed by the iconic saber-toothed cat, the Scimitar Cat was a formidable Ice Age predator in its own right, built not for brute force, but for speed and endurance. Unlike its saber-toothed cousin, the Scimitar Cat had shorter, serrated fangs ideal for slicing flesh cleanly, much like modern big cats. In Siberia, scientists discovered a remarkably well-preserved scimitar cat bone, estimated to be 47,500 years old. Genetic and anatomical analysis revealed impressive physical traits: exceptional vision suited for daylight hunting, dense muscle structure, and a robust cardiovascular system tailored for long-distance pursuits. These adaptations suggest that scimitar cats weren't ambush hunters. They were endurance predators, possibly chasing down massive Ice Age herbivores like mammoths and woolly rhinos across the frozen steppes. There's even speculation that they may have hunted in packs, functioning like prehistoric wolves on steroids. This discovery reshapes our understanding of Ice Age ecosystems and predator-prey dynamics. Arctic hyenas. Yes, really. It sounds like a joke, but it's true. Hyenas once roamed the Arctic. Fossilized teeth discovered in Yukon, Canada, suggest that these predators were present between 850,000 and 1.4 million years ago. Unlike their modern African cousins, these Ice Age hyenas had thick fur and powerful bone-crushing jaws. Their menu likely included caribou, bison, and yes, even baby mammoths. Eventually they disappeared, likely outcompeted by other Ice Age beasts such as the massive short-faced bear and the aptly named bone-crushing dog. Hester, the Ice Age squirrel. In 2018, miners in the Yukon made an extraordinary discovery while working in the permafrost: a small matted ball of fur that turned out to be a 30,000-year-old Arctic ground squirrel, frozen mid-hibernation. Nicknamed Hester, this Ice Age time capsule was so remarkably preserved that scientists could clearly see her delicate ears, tiny claws, and fluffy tail. Instead of unfolding the fragile specimen, researchers used X-rays to examine her internal structure, and what they found was astonishing. Hester's skeleton was almost identical to that of today's Arctic ground squirrels, indicating little evolutionary change over millennia. Her peaceful, curled-up pose suggests she died while sleeping, providing a tender, almost poetic snapshot of Ice Age life. In a world often dominated by tales of mammoths and saber-toothed cats, Hester is a gentle reminder of the smaller creatures who survived, thrived, and were just as much a part of that frozen, ancient ecosystem. Ancient penguin mummies of Antarctica. Emsley initially went to the site to investigate ancient penguin droppings, not expecting much, as explorers like Robert Falcon Scott and Ernest Shackleton had never reported penguin sightings in the area. However, upon arrival, he found something extraordinary: white, splotchy guano stains and loose chick bones, typical indicators of a recently occupied penguin colony. But that wasn't all. Further investigation revealed complete penguin carcasses and even intact mummies. It appeared the site had been rapidly covered by snow and ice after the colony's last abandonment, preserving the surface remains for centuries. The 46,000-year-old bird. In the frigid depths of Siberia's Pole of Cold, scientists uncovered an extraordinary Ice Age survivor, a tiny bird frozen in time for an astonishing 46,000 years. Discovered in the permafrost of Yakutia, this delicate creature is believed to be an ancient ancestor of today's horned lark. What makes the find so remarkable is the bird's pristine condition. Its feathers, soft tissues, and even its skin were still intact after tens of thousands of years. It stands as one of the best preserved Ice Age bird specimens ever found. The bird's frozen remains are not just a curiosity, they're a treasure trove of information. Through DNA analysis, researchers are now gaining rare genetic insights into how birds adapted and evolved during the dramatic climate upheavals that marked the end of the Ice Age. This tiny bird, once fluttering across prehistoric tundra skies, now helps scientists unravel the story of survival and transformation. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy the video, please let us know by clicking the like button, do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.